Why there isn't an uproar in the US over COVID deaths. Outrage fatigue. It might have something to do with all the disinformation. A lot of people don't even believe it killed anyone. Cigarette smoking is responsible for more than 480,000 deaths per year in the United States, including more than 41,000 deaths resulting from secondhand smoke exposure. This has been going on for decades. COVID has killed approx 1.12 million people in the US since it started. Technically, smoking still killed more in the same time period. A lot of people were very upset over COVID during the crisis. Also, a lot of people were upset over restrictions. It was a major political fight until early 2022. After the end of the last major wave, there are now yearly vaccines and lots of treatment options. If people don't want any of those options and they die, that's on them at this point. Is there uproar in other countries with equal death rates? COVID deaths were largely related to hospitals being overwhelmed, people being stupid, and COVID just being an all-around nasty virus. Not much related to the government. We have more important things to worry about, like paying rent and being able to buy food or pay for healthcare. Most people don't care about things that don't directly affect their circle. That's basically the gist of it. Most truly empathetic people will never be in a position of power to do something about it, because they do not crave power. Also, if this was the Vietnam War, you had to watch a bingo-style lottery on TV to see if you or your brother would be sent, against his will, to die in Vietnam. That system was created by and could be stopped by a human being. Viruses do their own things. What am I supposed to do about it? Vietnam War killed sons and daughters while COVID killed grandmas and sick relatives. An effective free vaccine in record time? Free test kits? Invoking the Defense Production Act? A pause on evictions and student loan payments? Stimulus payments? Extended unemployment? PPP loans? What is there to be outraged about? What more do you think could have been done without completely shutting down the economy? You have unrealistic expectations on what a government can be done to stop a once-in-a-100-year pandemic. It was unstoppable. All you could do was mitigate the damage. Seriously, what more did you expect? I mean, statistically, the US is about on par with any other developed country in the world for deaths per capita. I really don't think much would have changed no matter who was president. Like or dislike Trump, especially due to my first point, the time frame would have just been slightly different overall. Misinformation and overall fatigue of caring about it. Not to mention the countless other problems regular people have to deal with in the country. The COVID deaths almost feels like a distraction in comparison. Okay, I'll bite. What would this uproar look like to you? Mass forcing of getting the vaccination? Mandatory barring non-vaccinated people in their homes? What are you imagining when you think of an uproar here? There was fear and outrage, but so much is out of our control. Realistically, nothing I say or do will matter, and since I worked at a convenience store that never closed, I just put on a mask and washed my hands a lot. We did eventually get vaccinated, but we waited a while and researched before we decided to. Hubby and I think we had COVID twice. Once before anyone knew what it was. We had horrible lingering colds, and then once when testing was available and we tested positive. We never lost taste or smell. Basically bad colds. Hubby needed a ZPAK. I mean, we just dealt with it. What else can you do? Take reasonable precautions and just cope. We could not stop working, etc. Democrats are the only party who cared about people, unlike Republicans who spread fake news about COVID. My father died from COVID. A couple of my conservative friends told me that it was because he had issues. He did have issues, but he was completely stable and fine. COVID killed him in about 3 days. Half the country doesn't even think it's real. I mean this just flat out is not a website where you are going to get the correct answer to this question. Anyone with any influence or power is either disinterested or outright evil, thus making any possible remedy or change improbable to the point of mootness.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.